everyone. Big milestones in the startup ecosystem today with news on M&A as well as fundraise. I'm Priya Sheth and you're watching the Daily Dispatch. Now, the companies that are making a buzz in the startup space today include Byju's, ShipRocket as well as PayPal. Now, headline number one, another acquisition in its basket. Tech unicorn Byju's has acquired online exam preparation platform GradeUp. Now, while the amount is still undisclosed, this would be the 8th acquisition by Byju's in 2021. And with this partnership, Byju's is looking to further deepen its presence in the online competitive exam space, and GradeUp will now be rebranded as Byju's Exam Prep. Well, headline number two, there's been some news brewing in the logistics space with reports suggesting that platform ShipRocket is in talks with Singapore's wealth fund Temasek to lead a round of about $200 million. Now, these funds are likely to be used by ShipRocket for growth as well as acquisition of small startups. Well, final headline of the day, onto some global news. Fintech company PayPal has acquired Japanese payments platform Paydi for a whopping $2.7 billion. Now, with this acquisition, PayPal is looking to expand its capabilities, distribution, as well as relevance in the Japanese market. All right, then, well, moving on to our second segment, I have with me a company that's always in news. And this time around, the company has made a lot of interesting new launches. And to discuss this, I have with me Hemant Gala from PhonePe. Thank you very much, Hemant, for joining us today on the Daily Dispatch. One very big move that has been made by PhonePe has been on data transparency. You have launched some data in the digital payment space that has been made public at this point in time. Tell us maybe 2 or 3 very important figures that may be startling and figures that people don't know about. So if you could tell us a little bit about that.
Thank you, Priya, for having me on the show. If you look at the data, the sheer amount of penetration that it shows, the geographical spread and the length and the breadth that payment has covered today, today widespread, it's the, payment is not a phenomena right now. And beyond payments, doing transactions on the merchant transactions, recharge, bill pay, financial services is spread across length and breadth. So, what we have seen is literally, participation for more than 20,000 PIN codes across the length and breadth of the country. Tier 2 and beyond, is seeing significant amount of participation. In fact, in some of the cases, more than 60-70% of our customers coming in there. So digital's reached right there in the hinterlands. Our merchant penetration's gone so deeper, and you could see that from the data. We have over 23 million merchants across the country today, and the sheer amount of participation from the length and breadth of the country is the biggest insight that you can really which is what we really wanted to share with everyone.
Right, now tell us a little bit about how the last couple of months have been for PhonePe, because digital payments has seen a huge boom. It's perhaps the best time to be in the digital payment space. So first of all, tell us about how the last couple of months have panned out in terms of growth, if you can share any indicative growth numbers.
Sure. I think we've seen continuous growth. I mean, digital payments have been growing continuously. If you see in the ecosystem, overall we have more than 300 million users right now on our platform, and the user base is continuously growing. I mean, there's just no slowing down. We are on a if you see on a daily basis, we are seeing more than close to about 60 million transactions a day. So which is massive. It's grown from what was about 40-45 million to jump to 50 million. Now we're seeing close to about 55 to 60 million transactions a day. So that is just phenomenal. More than 300 million registered users. More than about 140 million active users. On the platform today, clocking in close to 3.5 billion to 4 billion app sessions. So the sheer amount of participation, the amount of transactions that we see. What's really interesting is that the customers' engagement is deepening. They are moving beyond 1, 2, 3, 4 multiple categories and engaging with us just so often across diverse use cases. It's not just limited to P2P transactions or merchant transactions, just across diverse use cases that people are now engaging digitally on.
Right, I want to understand about the financial services as well as the in terms of what kind of traction have you seen out there?
Financial services has been, it's been a very good journey for us. We've been focused on 2 or 3 lines of businesses in the last, 1.5 years. created deep trust with customers on payments in the first 1.5 to 2 years of our journey. Literally getting them to link their bank accounts on UPI or save their cards, do transactions, and across. Then we really deepened that journey with customers with merchant acceptance, which way they saw ubiquitous payment acceptance across. That deepened the entire trust and the journey with the customers, which is now what has led us to the financial services journey. Because I think financial services is not about selling one product or just giving one solution to the customer. It's a lifelong journey that generates with trust. So that is what we really wanted to do. So we focused on creating a very comprehensive platform. So today we have a good strong platform on insurance. We have the widest range of products on insurance, likewise in mutual funds and in gold. Specifically, if I had to talk on say insurance, the way we have grown also in insurances, we have launched very simple product, easy to understand products which are meant for wide spectrum of customers across. For someone who's wanting to have a very simple life cover term insurance product, to someone who wants to buy a motor insurance or two-wheeler. So it's spread across, and the nature of products are way that it's designed to be very simple. Like to take an example, the classic one would be health insurance. We've launched a product called Arogya Sanjeevani, which is modeled on lines of what IID is structured as a very simple product. So that is a product that we've launched so that it becomes very simple for the users to understand. It's a product with no medicals up to 65 years, good coverage given to the customers across all benefits, and it's just very simple for people to buy and understand.
Right, talking about the kind of services that you offer, mutual funds is something that we understand you all are, getting into as we speak. So tell us a little bit about what the update is out there.
So, mutual funds, we have a very strong platform up and running. In fact, in mutual funds, the very interesting part is that we have seen participation from tier 2, tier 3. If you see, what has happened in India is that in general the distribution has been largely focused on tier 1, and there's appetite, there's willingness for people to move and invest into simpler funds, easier investment options. They're looking beyond the traditional investment avenues. There isn't enough distribution, isn't enough amount of education and right content being disseminated. So our focus has been about creating the right simple products for customers, get them to learn and understand mutual funds, like get them to just start with a simple liquid fund and then move on to equity fund, understanding and recommending, not recommending, but getting them to understand what the nature of the product is before they jump in. So start journey with very simple product and then move into a complicated product with focus solely being around SIPs. I think it's a universal fact that systematic investment more than lump sum really benefits. So we launched with the first player, and we've gone live with the UPI based SIP payments, which is just so simple for people. It's not a very complicated journey where you have to put in a lot of credentials. You can write on the same UPI framework, and it's just easy for them to set up. So for us, mutual fund is about getting people to understand simpler products and deepening that journey. And up there, we are also looking at trying to explore if we can go deeper with customers, going beyond just a distributor to applying for a license on the asset management side. But it will come over time. Right now, the journey is all about creating, getting people to understand the simplicity of SIP and investing.
And Hemant, as we look forward, what kind of roadmap do you have at PhonePe in terms of introducing more products out there, introducing more services for consumers out there? So what kind of roadmap, if you could highlight 2 or 3 focus areas for PhonePe in 2021, 2022?
I think the whole roadmap is around, India is such an underpenetrated market when it comes to, like, look at insurance, for example. While there's penetration numbers would show about 2 to 3%, but the protection cover, the penetration is not even 1%. The whole focus for us is going to be launching products which is going to be helping customers, adding value to that. We're not just about launching any, bike insurance that we have launched. Bike insurance is such a critical cover that is needed, and it is so simple that people can literally buy it in 2 minutes. It's something where they can file claim, in a cashless manner. Similarly, there are products that, like term insurance, you can literally buy, term insurance without any medical. There's a 1-year cover that we are offering at just about 880 rupees. So the idea is going to be about trying to widen the scope of insurance with large scale, products, which is cutting across. We'll also buy, launch products which are very evolved, like a motor insurance which is built in with self-inspection for people, those who have policies which are expired. They can literally do a self-inspection remotely and buy their cover. So there are a lot of innovations on the high-end product that we are going, which is going to be simplifying customers' journey. Not about filling in multiple forms, or not about worrying about policy document which is readily available, to worrying about filing on claims. There's going to be a lot of innovation that we are going to do on that side. The other side of the spectrum is about the tier 2 and beyond, where we are seeing, even on insurance, we are seeing 60% plus customers coming in from there to launch very simple product which helps them, literally, adds value to their life, be it on life protection, be it on health cover, be it on two-wheeler. Products which are going to be very simple. We are going to be partnering with the insurance broking license with just about everyone in the industry. So there's wide amount of choice that the customer will have to select from. There's wide amount of coverage that we'll see from the participants. So the roadmap ahead is about wide distribution, products which are very segmented to the with the right addressing the right needs of the customers in across geographic segments, across economic segments, across social segments.
A final question before I let you go in terms of targets, in terms of users. You said more than 300 million users on the platform as we speak. In terms of users as well as total payments value, what is the kind of target that you're working with?
Well, we've set a target, last year itself, that we want to touch 500 million customers. That's the first. Eventually, yes, would want to, cover every Indian who has a smartphone and a bank account, to be able to transact digitally. But what we're heading towards very steadily is the goal of touching 500 million customers. So that is the goal that we are running with the focus of getting customers engaged with multiple categories. It's not just about payments, but it's about merchants, it's about bill payments, recharges, it's about financial services across multiple segments.
All right, Hemant, we wish you all the very best. Thank you very much for being a part of the Daily Dispatch, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Priya. It was a pleasure.
Well, time now to wrap up this edition of the Daily Dispatch. I'll catch you tomorrow at 5 p.m. Goodbye and have a lovely day.